All right. Welcome to Reality Football. This is an historic day, and I am glad to be here. My name is Keith Porter.
I'm Michael Skinner.
Coach Cooper. Brian Fisher.
Known as Porter, Skinbone, Coach Coop, and Fish. We are new to some of you radio people here, and so for you old people, we're going to just ask you to hang on a minute while we reintroduce ourselves. We are four best friends from high school, Kenmore High, and we had the notion last year to start our own football show. We didn't want to talk about fantasy football, nothing against it. We didn't want to talk about political correct stuff. We wanted to just be honest and open and talk about football the way we want it, and we said, hey, how about we do our own show? So we are here today. This is our debut on WMVU.org, which is,
Absolutely.
radio. So they didn't want to see our faces.
Yeah, you got a face for radio.
That's what I was told. So this is kind of like a demotion, not a promotion.
Now, if we could find something, a venue where we could like get your breath out of the equation, then it would really be something.
Wow. Man, here we go already.
And Werther's originals aren't doing the trick.
Yeah, Tic-Tac for radio.
Well, those of you on radio who cannot see, I am adorned in the beautiful black and gold of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You're a something.
I'm a something. I am a diehard Steelers fan, so much that I have a son's name is Steel, and I have been a Steelers fan since I was a child. I live and breathe the black and gold. My dog Bettis just passed away, and what do you got to say to that, Skid?
You suck.
Wow, really?
Man's dog died. That's what you got. You suck.
Thanks a lot, bro.
Why Pittsburgh, though? Why did you like, what got
Okay,
you in?
great question.
Yeah.
When I first started paying attention to the football league,
You say penitentiary or penitentiary?
when I got out the penitentiary, right when I got out the penitentiary, yes, and I was getting football cards out the Wonder Bread, right? And I was like, oh, okay. I got like Ron Jaworski and all these people, so that was like my first card. So I said, okay, I'm an Eagles fan. Then I got a Raiders card. I go, well, I'm a Raiders fan now.
Yep.
And I was just bouncing back and forth. I didn't know nothing about football. It was all new to me. I was so excited. And one day when I saw that black and gold come up, I was just like, that's my team. And that's what I started rolling with.
Isn't it funny how that works?
It really is. It's just something hit me.
So
Now,
basically, you're saying you chose your team like a chick would.
as time went on, and I started learning about the Steelers, here's something a lot of people don't know. The Rooney family was instrumental in civil rights back in the 60s. Instrumental, and a lot of people don't know that. It's not advertised a lot. I gained a lot of admiration for them. As time went on and I became an adult, I got to find out that they were I guess I use the word thriftiest team in the NFL. Their payroll was the most modest. They weren't throwing out big contracts to people. They were keeping their coaches. They were running a football team like I would run a football team if I had one. And I just have a lot of respect for them that way. No free agent crybabies. Things like that. So,
Kind of like you do our payroll here.
a little bit, very similar.
Very stingy is what you say.
So that's what it is.
Yeah.
I admire the team very, very, very much. So, good question.
Very good. And what else do you do, Keith, outside of this?
Well, that is a really, really good question. I do a lot of stuff. Obviously, I have a photography.
Service.
What do I do voluntarily outside? I think that's what he meant. I have a photography business called Sit Still Photography. I also have a drum teaching business, and I call it a business because it has grown into something even more extraordinary called One Drum, One Sound, where I teach children how to play drums. But we are also doing a reality show on Facebook called One Drum, One Sound, featuring three young men called the Brown Brothers. I also am what they call, well, I won't say that because I can't really announce that job, but I also am an assistant pastor at my church, House of Restoration, and I just try to stay busy. Busy. Now, the other job is a government job, so I can't really mention that one. So,
With all that you just said, how do you have time for all this?
people ask me that every single day.
You just love us that much. Is that what it is?
Oh, man, listen, this right here meeting with you guys. This is special. I'd go crazy. The summer was really rough not doing this.
Well,
This is our second year.
right.
People should know that because we're going to do a lot about talking about last year, right, guys? What we went through. This is our second year. The summer was rough, not only with the whole COVID scare, but just us being together once a week, which brought us back together after
Right. I was
years.
going to go into that when, when it gets
Okay.
to my turn.
And I'll let you do that.
Your turn?
I do, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. That brought us back together, and the summertime was rough not doing that. So
I agree. Well, this is Michael Skinner. I am on the show as a Browns fan currently. I grew up in a household as Browns, but my actual admiration is for the San Francisco 49ers, as you all know.
Keeps getting worse.
Yeah, no kidding. For a Dallas fan here talking, yeah, it even gets worse. I grew up in a Browns family. Grandparents, everybody was all Browns. My mom,
nobody's perfect. They're nice people.
my mom, rest in peace, she would decorate the yard with dog bones, and she had paper news clippings on the windows. She was diehard. So it was great. That's where
awesome.
I got it from. I love Brian Sipe. I love Bernie Kosar back in the early days. Browns are kind of hard to get behind, but their following is still strong. But I'm an avid San Francisco 49er, and it's been hard being a 49er fan, as you guys know, too.
So
I haven't done a whole lot.
So you like wearing this crap to aggravate me and sit next to me?
That's the only reason I wear this stuff.
That's great. That's great.
But
It's not a fashion statement, that's for sure. That's the one reason why I could never be a Browns fan.
I gotcha.
Well, we appreciate it. So
What do you do, Mike, outside of this?
Outside of this-
take care of all kinds of kids running around.
Yeah, I have 5 children of my own. I have 3 stepchildren, and between me and Marcy, hi Marcy, we have 5 grandchildren, all boys.
that's great.
So we got 1 boy, 7 girls, and then 5 grandsons. You know, go figure out how that happened. But I
Mike
do.
is actually 30 years old. You 30 years old.
I wish I was 30 years old again.
That makes you a grandparent at Kenmore.
Yeah, right. I actually work for Westfield Bank. I've been there for going on 11 years, and that's what I do outside of here.
Can a brother get a loan?
You? Maybe.
You got some collateral?
Depends on what's in
So
it for me.
collateral?
But yeah, no, like I said, coming from a Browns family, so I do have an admiration for the Browns, but I only wear this because of you.
Now, hey, I just think it's important you let the people know you are military.
I am a United States Air Force veteran.
And we thank you for that.
Yep, thank you.
Something good about you.
I been all over the world, saw many different things that I would have never seen if I stayed civilian. And
Till you met us.
well, yeah, I met you guys before military.
Specifically in Thailand and Tijuana.
Nope. Oh, Tijuana. No, I've
We love you long time.
Stop it.
Desert Storm. I was over in. I was over in.
already.
Yeah, right.
That was the
Desert.
shortest run in radio history.
I
right
tell
there.
ya.
We're done.
But I have been all over the world. Egypt, Germany, England,
Barberton.
South America. I was in the cocaine hills of Cochabamba, Bolivia.
Oh my gosh.
Panama. The
You
Panama
still came
Canal
back.
was a really cool
Made
thing.
it back.
I did. Made it back.
Well, we
I'm still
appreciate
here
your
to talk
service.
about it. So
All right. Coach Coop.
Coach Coop. Oh.
Now, let's make it clear. We don't call you Coach Coop for football.
No,
No.
you don't. No, I actually coach volleyball. I have junior Olympics teams. I
That's
work
awesome.
at a local high school. I've been there for 7 years, so I love working with the youth, developing the talent. It's I played for a decade, and I still try to play when I have time. But now that I'm doing so many other things,
Right.
getting to actually participate is few and far between. But my whole family plays, so we've got our own co-ed built-in family team. So yeah, it's fun.
Okay. Now, Coop, since I've known you and we go back quite a ways, you've been about them Dallas Cowboys. You want
I've been a
to...
Cowboys fan 46 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, started when I was
That's
just
about me.
right. But unlike you choosing a pretty color from a red, my story's a little deeper than that. I have a very charismatic grandmother.
Someone
who-
gave him a kidney. What is that?
Right, this kid dying in the hospital that I was visiting.
Shut up.
On his deathbed, asked me if I would carry his
The Dalai Lama himself.
No, my grandmother, who's in her 90s now.
Charismatic is an understatement.
She is.
She's special.
A firecracker. I didn't mean a cracker. Sorry, I was.
It show's over.
She told me.
Cracker football fans matter too.
They do, right? She had me believing that she was one of the original Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
That's great.
And when you're that young, you're 4 or 5 years old, when you believe, Grandma tells you, well, you'll buy anything, right? So up until I was probably 10, I bought into the whole thing. And she really put it on thick, too. She played it up. And, once I realized the truth, she just kind of kept it going. And it was like, to this day, she still stands by that lie.
So your whole thing is based on a lie.
Right, it's all based on lies. So we started watching the games together. And then I had some other friends that I met in grade school who were also Cowboy fans. And back in that day, you were a Browns fan, a Steelers fan, or a Cowboy fan in this area.
Right.
Growing up.
Pretty close to the same now, but yeah.
And then they sprinkles some other stuff here and there, but we would play football in the lot, and everybody would just like pick a team. Your kids, like, we'll be the Cowboys or we'll be the Steelers, and you play head-to-head Nerf football in the Sandlot or something. So I just kept it up, watching the games with her, and we still get together and watch Cowboy games now when she's in her 90s.
And I try to harass her every chance I get,
Oh, she'll give it right back to you.
She does.
Still gives you.
Now, Coop, you are married.
I am married.
Very lovely Amy.
I have a beautiful wife who sometimes will help out with the show here a little.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 beautiful children and one really mad one right now.
Okay.
It always rotates which ones are which.
Right.
On the day, but no, I have three adult children. No grandkids as of yet, but we do have a couple grandpuppies that we really. But yeah, that's my story, and
awesome.
That's kind of what brought me to this point.
Okay. Now, Fisher, I've been calling you Fish, I think, since I've known you.
Yeah.
And we go back to high school days. A very unique sense of humor, I always thought Fish had. Very, very stoic, very...
Fisher's Fisher.
Yeah, Fisher's Fisher. Certainly another Cowboys fan. And now you and Cooper have known each other the longest, I think, of the 4 of us. You guys go back to elementary school, if I'm not mistaken.
We do. So Cooper and I went to Heminger Elementary.
Mm-hmm.
He's no longer with us, but yeah. So he grew up across the street from my grandparents' house, where I live now, actually, still in the neighborhood, Kenmore. So, I'd go to grandma's and visit. Coop would come over. We spent a lot of New Year's Eves. Mom and Dad would go out. I'd spend the night, and we spent a lot of New Year's Eves together growing up and all that. And I got into the Cowboys because of him.
Really? I didn't know that.
This
That's
guy
all my
here.
fault.
Well, this guy here, I remember every grade school picture.
Yes.
He's wearing a Dallas Cowboys jersey of some sort.
We'll get you some of those shots.
But I was starting to get into football a little bit, and I didn't know what team I wanted to root for. And it's, he was an avid Cowboys fan, so I'm like, well, I know Cooper likes Cowboys. My parents took me down to the...
And Cooper's a really smart guy. So
Yeah, right.
Well, my parents took me down to the Hall of Fame once.
Okay.
I remember sitting in the theater, right, and this video came on, and it was one of the Dallas-Pittsburgh Super Bowls, right? And I'm thinking, well, I know Cooper likes to... And seeing, like, Roger Staubach on that screen... with the star, see, you laugh about the colors and all that, but it was the star and the NFL Films dude and all this and that.
Yeah.
It was just like, wow, it was just majestic to me.
Yeah.
It almost looked like the good guys versus the bad guys.
Right.
It was.
Right.
It was.
That's how they,
You
You know what I'm saying?
present it.
And I'm like, that day, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go with that. I walked out of that Hall of Fame with some Dallas
I
Cowboys
want to be
gear.
good.
That's awesome.
Well, you did.
And that was it. So I never looked back. We had some tough
Yeah.
times growing up watching them, but we, of course, enjoyed the 90s and, of course...
Yeah, the 90s
But
were the
what you didn't
heyday.
realize as a young kid that any team playing Pittsburgh was the good guys.
Why don't you shut
against
up?
the bad guys.
Yeah.
Well, you
And of
know,
course, now hold on. You got a beautiful daughter.
Yeah, my beautiful daughter, Peyton, she just turned 20 recently. She's a student down at the Kent State Star Campus. Very proud of her. She's doing really well. Beautiful girlfriend, Allie, which we just celebrated a couple years together.
Okay, so I didn't mention my girlfriend. Now I got to look bad. Is that what it is?
And then I am, for a living outside of this, this does not pay all the bills. Believe it or not, people think
I'm
they
getting
must
paid. I'm
make-
getting paid. I don't know
we
what you
make
guys are
money this
making.
right now. We hope to maybe at some point makes a little bit of money here, but we do this for fun and to be together, like all the things you said. But I'm an operational excellence manager for a large securities company out of North Canton. I've been there for 4 years now, so I do like process improvements and different things like that. So.
Like on the show, it's all process improvement.
Yes, that's what it is.
Which, as you can imagine, is a headache.
I would
Just
imagine.
to say.
Now the four of us,
I did.
Coop and I were best friends immediately when we met in 7th grade.
Mhm.
It just boom, it just took off from there.
Yep.
We started being close towards the end of high school.
Yeah.
And then right out, we got real close, and we all played cards together once a week for years.
Yes.
Funny story.
Hmm.
I actually met you at Ennis Junior High School.
Really?
You were in 9th grade band. I was in the 7th grade band. We were both in the band. And you and I, believe it or not, and you may not remember, you and I used to figure out who was going to get in trouble the most with Mr. Young.
I don't remember at all.
Yeah. There was times that you and I would be out in the hallway waiting to get our discipline from Mr. Young, and we're just laughing at each other. I don't know if you remember that.
I
or
don't
not.
remember at all, man.
But yeah, I met you in junior high school.
Okay.
So
Those are-
basically, what he's saying is, you guys both have the same spanking fetish.
That's what I think so. Okay.
And
So
you know what?
anyway,
Actually, that is carried on to this day.
yes.
In a weird
Yeah.
way.
it has.
Yes.
That's what
So
the
we
living
have
room is for over
we
there.
have been best men at each other's weddings. We have been
Uh-huh.
through all this crazy stuff.
Funerals, weddings.
Yeah, life
birthday
came
parties,
and kind of separated us. Not separate us, but we'd go all these peers not seeing each other like we
Kids,
used
family,
to.
sure.
We
Right.
did.
And this show brought us back together. This idea
Yeah.
brought us back together again. And we're like, we're going to do it our way. We don't care what people say. We're going to say how we feel. And we're going to have some fun. And we hope to entertain people who are out there who are tired of political correctness or who are tired of talking about fantasy football and just want to talk about football like four friends sitting around wood. That's all it
We
is.
did it our way. Isn't it? Cue Laverne and Shirley song to take.
I was actually going to cue Frank Sinatra, but but it's okay. All right. Well, listen, that was an introduction. For all of you who know who we are, we appreciate your patience. So all you radio people, we just wanted to let you know who the heck you're listening to. And with that being said, we'll take a quick break, and we'll come back
with some actual football.
with some actual football.
Sounds good.
All right.
See you in a minute.
See you in a minute. All right, welcome back. This is Reality Football. Here we are on Facebook, and of course we are on WMBU.org, which will take you to Radio Free Network. Our immediate expert, Fish, will let you know a little bit more about that coming down the road. But guys, one thing we do talk about on this show is football.
A little bit, huh?
A little bit, and we have
More exciting than our life story.
The reality, four dudes from Kenmore show just wasn't going to cut. it.
wasn't going to get it. Yeah, I know, right? But we had some crazy games. It's a crazy season.
It really is.
It's a crazy season.
Yeah.
And you don't know what to expect, but we just take it as it comes. And we're just going to go over a little bit of football, and Fish will let you run it down, and we'll see what happened here, bro.
Thursday night. Again, who's picking these Thursday night games?
I don't know. They're horrible.
That's funny.
They're horrible.
You brought that up during the week.
They're like
and that was-
also rans.
I don't understand. Maybe it was these were on NFL Network. I think they go back to Fox. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
I
It
don't
was,
understand why
then-
why do they have to have a Thursday game? Maybe I'm just.
See, I don't care. More football, the better. But if they got to be all crappy games.
But I
It's
don't.
on TV. That's why.
I know my schedule is so crazy that just trying to pack in a Sunday and then get that Monday game in.
All right.
And
I don't know.
I'm
so
not a fan.
Denver beat the Jets.
Uh-huh.
The highlight, I think, Skin, I know you have to take here too, but Rippon was the nephew of Mark Rippon for Denver.
Us oldies
It's like
know about that.
Denver's trying to compete with Cleveland, I think,
Yeah.
with the amount of quarterbacks they.
Right. I hear you. Yeah, I know the biggest thing is Denver did win 37-28.
Yeah.
And you would think that a rusher, the leading rusher for the game, would be a running back. But the Jets, Arnold,
Yeah.
was the rushing leader for the team. 6 rushes for I believe it was 62 yards.
84.
Okay.
84 yards.
Were those
I'm sorry.
design runs or him running for his life?
I think it was him running for his life. But he had 84 yards. The next one best to him, I think, was in the 40s.
Okay.
Not running for his life, just scrambling. It wasn't a design play.
Right.
You know, but a lot of it was the fact that he's able to turn something in, turn nothing into something.
Okay,
Right.
so while we're on that game, we got some questions that arise from this game. Number one, is Sam Darnold the guy? Number two, do they go after, Justin Fields or Clemson's quarterback? What do you think the Jets need to do?
I don't think it's a quarterback problem.
I'm in total agreement with you.
Oh, it's an awful.
I think Sam Darnold has all the tools to be able to play this game. But you aren't going to do it with that receiving core, that offensive line, that lack of a running game. Le'Veon Bell's going to be out there this year. That was a wasted experiment. I called it last year. You should have stayed in Pittsburgh, baby. The grass ain't always greener.
Yeah.
But I just think this guy needs some help, and I would hate to see them start over again with another quarterback.
Well, the kid from Clemson, anyway, he could stay in another year. Right. So if he gets a sense that the Jets are coming after him, he could stay in school.
Right.
Justin
There
Fields,
was
same
another
thing.
quarterback in recent history that did that. They were drafted by one team and then decided to be a big
Oh,
wussy about it.
that's your boy Eli.
Gee, I wonder who that could be.
For another team.
No, don't start with him and Eli. What else you got,
Hey,
Fish?
well, hang on. I know we're going to get through all these teams, but listening to you talking about the Jets, really, that's such a familiar story for people in this area here because the Browns have been in that exact spot for how long now?
Yeah.
Right.
Finally got somebody that they can get some traction with and start to build around.
Mhm.
And as you can see, after 4 weeks this year, it's working. So maybe the answer is the Jets need to stick that out, stay with the quarterback, change some things in the front
Absolutely.
office, and then start working on acquiring the personnel that work around that system that he's
Total agreement. And one reason we're talking about the Jets, another reason we started this show is because I got tired of turning on ESPN and every other show, and there's like only two teams in the league, the Dallas Cowboys and the New England Patriots. Just sick of it. There are 32 teams. Everybody should get some sort of news, and we want to try to cover a little bit of everybody on reality football. So
and that's enough.
just wanted to throw that out
for
there.
The rest of the year.
Yeah, that was it.
Just a losing culture. Right
Yeah,
now.
go ahead, brother.
Okay, so Bengals got their first.
Let's give it to
Victory.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah,
He got
absolutely.
his first one
You
finally.
consistent coming, guys.
He
You
got it.
consistent coming. He was playing like a winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Played to a tie last year.
The second
Best week.
loss.
Taking some big hits as well and standing back up in there.
Right.
So so he's looking like a good pick for them.
I think if Cincinnati follows through with what you were talking about with the Jets and put the right people around him, this kid's going to be a winner. I mean, he proved to be a winner
Yeah.
already. I think this was as close to a sure bet since Andrew Luck, in my opinion.
And he had a run game. That guy Mixon.
Yeah, sure.
151 yards rushing
Yeah.
today, 2 TDs.
I mean,
Cincinnati.
Yeah, he had a good day.
I don't
like the
think
guy
he-
punching women in the face, but, whatever. He's there now. So he might as well be... I didn't think he should have
had to
got
bring
his-
that up.
Well, he should have gotten the NFL, in my opinion, doing stuff like that, but that's my opinion.
Coming from a Steeler fan, he's talking about punching people in the face.
Oh, really? Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Go ahead.
If you're still listening, Minnesota defeated. They got the two winless teams, both playoff teams last year. A lot of people were
Yeah.
surprised by this, but Minnesota beat Houston 31-23.
Okay, so caveat there. Houston shouldn't have got rid of your receiver. Vikings dealing with a lot of opted out players that has really shaken their team up.
Injuries and opt-outs.
Yeah.
You
Just
say that
losses,
about
yeah.
Hopkins, but the three receivers for Houston are having career years.
Well, yeah, because Hopkins isn't there.
They're having, well, I know.
Yeah, I
what you're
mean,
saying.
there's only one. There's only one DeAndre
You're
Hopkins.
not
Okay,
talking about
But
anybody else.
statistically,
Hopkins is
they're-
special. That's-
Statistically, they're up there in the upper echelon of the wide receivers.
yeah, but they can have career years, but DeAndre Hopkins is special. He makes special plays in big moments. That's the big difference.
But they're
and this
not
guy's
having
having
problems
career
scoring
years.
points. Their problem's on defense.
Yeah,
And
why
who
are you playing?
thought that
They're
would
having
be the case?
that's true, but they're having problems when they need to blow the top off and have somebody make a special play when it's needed, and he's not there now. So you can make excuses for him all
Well,
you want.
we'll agree to disagree on that.
No,
think
we
it's
agree that I'm right, and you keep on
I
talking.
think it's a defensive problem.
Whatever.
We're
Okay.
wasting so much time on these. Teams
Whatever.
that don't matter.
Okay, go. Oh, but that's so rude. Go ahead, bro.
Sorry, radio folks. He didn't mean that.
Yes, I did. They don't matter. There's only two teams in the league.
All right, we got the
Pittsburgh,
Saints,
and everybody else.
Saints beat the Lions 35-27.
I really thought that the
I thought Detroit
Detroit was going to win this one.
They were
The
up.
secondary and the Saints is beat up, and Matthew Stafford should have run a rough shot over them.
Well,
at home
they
against
did-
a reeling team.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, those will come from behind there.
Yeah, Saints are hanging in there for the year. Detroit's pretty much out of. Now, does Detroit change things up next year? Do you think?
What else can you do? Come on. I don't know what's wrong with them.
Is it a coaching problem there? In
That
Detroit?
coaching all that.
Part of it.
Yeah.
You brought in Matt Patricia
Yeah.
from New England. I guess
Yeah.
people think just because you come from New England, you're supposed to be the team whisperer or something, but obviously that's not true.
He'll be out this year.
But there's Stafford. It's not. I don't think that's his system. I think he's better than what he's playing.
I got to agree with you because he's making way too much money right now to get the production they're getting. I don't want to see these 400-yard games because that's not winning football.
No.
That's desperation football.
Yeah.
So he needs a new dig. They need a whole new. They need to start over. So that's my opinion.
He's what, 14 years in right now?
Something like that. Close.
So, at this point, he just needs that one more contract extension, ride it out. He's probably already resolved to the fact he's not going to leave this league with a ring. So why not just get paid? If he can bump up his statistics.
But he could, Coop.
No.
He could, given the right situation.
Well,
Not in Detroit.
Not in Detroit.
Not Detroit.
Okay,
Definitely not Detroit.
But at this point, I don't know. Maybe somebody picks him up just to have a veteran there that will
Oh, I see that.
will work with the rookie that they just draft.
Yep.
Stay there for a couple of seasons, maybe 2 until they can make that transition with the young talent. But
Yeah.
other than that, I don't know. I don't
Okay.
see him.
How about Matt Stafford in San Francisco? Right now. Ain't going to happen. Forget it.
I don't know, man. That is a talented team. You add a big arm to that.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a thought right there.
Never know.
Look at you disrespecting Jimmy G.
Yeah.
Hey,
Janine Garoppolo.
Jimmy G, is like, look,
Another New England
he
guy.
is a decent quarterback.
He's a good quarterback. in
He's
that
better
system.
going around with porn stars than he is playing quarterback.
Man.
So,
man.
but he ain't got the arm like
Mr.
Matthew Stafford.
Roethlisberger here.
All right. Seattle, closer game. A lot of people thought Seattle beat Miami 31-23.
That was a lot
Russell
closer.
Wilson.
I think they just played down to the level
well,
of competition.
Russell Wilson, another good game, 360 yards, 2 TDs. But Ryan Fitzpatrick, 2 interceptions, but 318 yards passing, and he led the team in rushing at 47 yards and a touchdown. So it sounds he's trying all he can.
That's why Miami lost. They just that running game. That's why they lost that game today.
Russell Wilson, best in football right now?
Yes.
Yeah, no question.
Okay.
It's hard to argue that.
Really hard to argue that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Fish.
Tampa Bay come back and beat the Chargers. Bear for the Chargers. I think they have their. New quarterback.
I agree. I love what I'm seeing in this kid. I really do.
Yeah.
And
He's
I know
better than
their coach is
advertised.
not into moral victories or whatnot, but this was a good showing for them.
They come from behind. Tampa
Yeah.
Bay had to score 10 points in the fourth quarter to win that game. So, veteran of he just had more firepower than LA. But
You call
Chargers,
it moral victories.
Chargers looking better. What's that?
You call it moral victories?
Yeah, where you lose, but hey,
Right.
we gave it the old college try,
We played a team over the weekend, our volleyball team.
Uh-huh.
And after beating them badly, their coach, they all rallied together. And you know how you have like cheers after, whatever. Some teams
Yeah.
have victory chants and whatever. I heard them over there, and their cheer was like, 1, 2, 3, get better.
That's awesome.
Great.
That's
I
awesome.
appreciate the fact that they realize they're kind of working on stuff, they're rebuilding, but the cheer was, all right, get better on 3. 1, 2, 3, get better.
1, 2, 3, we're mediocre. Yeah, right.
I propose we start this show
Yes.
with that same
I'm in.
beginning, middle, end.
That's awesome.
We'll take it to break on that.
I like that.
All
All right.
Yeah, we got a lot of work to do there.
Go ahead. Get better.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Baltimore beat the Washington football team 31-17.
No brainer.
I really thought Baltimore was going to score 50 points after last week.
Really hoping.
Maybe.
Yeah.
They just did what they had to do.
They did what they had to do.
Jackson,
I think arrested some
decent game
players.
throwing and running.
Okay,
It
now let's
reminds
not-
me of playing a college team, and that's not just because the uniforms and the lack of a name for them or what having like even college teams have like mascot or something, but they with the number on the helmet.
Yeah.
Right.
I like
but,
it.
But the skill level at this point, is almost like watching an NFL team playing a college team.
But Haskins had a better game
But
statistically.
I don't like how he's been called out publicly, though. I don't dig that. I don't think that's cool to do to a young guy. But let's talk about the Ravens for a minute now. Let's not let them off the hook. Because prior to last week, I had them as being the best team in football. 1, undefeated record, and 2, defensively over Seattle and Kansas City. Kansas City smacked them last week in the mouth,
Yes.
Big time.
put them in their place.
Wow. Yeah.
How do we view the Ravens now?
Third.
I think it's
Third.
they're a playoff team,
Oh, without question.
but at this moment,
I think
I
it's
don't see anybody
KC
beating-
Baltimore.
Not ready for prime time yet because
Seattle.
when
I think
KC's on all cylinders, wow.
I think
Okay.
it's KC, Baltimore, and then it's everybody else right
Okay,
now, truthfully.
keep that thought in your mind.
Seattle's in that top 3 tier too, though.
All right.
well,
They got to fix some of these things defensively.
They do.
Giving up too many points.
All right, Carolina. It's kind of an upset here. Carolina beat the Cardinals today, 31-21. Bridgewater,
Shocked.
276 yards passing, 2 TDs.
Teddy B ran one.
Yeah, absolutely. So they just did, one of their opportunities, I guess, this year was scoring in the red zone. Did better with that today. So, give it to Teddy Bridgewater.
Good
They've
for
been playing a
them.
little better.
Not bad.
Lost that pick.
But
but good
Arizona,
for
that's a
them.
tough loss for them.
Yeah.
Tough loss
Yeah.
for me.
And were there any other games today? Let me think
There was.
here.
Well,
Speaking
that-
of tough losses.
the rest of
Oh,
them-
yeah. I think Cleveland.
let's
Dallas
talk
may
about
play
that
a-
one.
Oh, gee, did we forget that, fellas?
Let's let Coop do
Trying
this
to-
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Go ahead, Coop. How did?
Well, this
how'd that
is
game
a
go?
great segue into a section on reality football that we call wacky wagers. And what this is sometimes it's us giving each other a hard time and putting a little something behind that, a bet, a wager on it. Last year, and we'll find the clip and put that up there somewhere too. But we had these guys betting on a Steelers-Browns game.
Mhm.
What he's talking about is Skinner and Porter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Skinner had to, after losing to the Steelers, Skinner had to wear a Steelers jersey at the end of the off ramp with a sign begging for money.
Still haven't got his stink
Wasn't
out of
allowed
it,
to
but
leave until somebody felt bad enough to give him something.
and they did.
And they did. He actually raised some money off of that.
Yeah.
Did. That was
8 o'clock in the
You
morning.
got a new side hustle going on. over
8
there,
o'clock in the
so-
morning, about
Right.
35 degrees.
Yeah, it was
You
cold.
need a few bucks, make that bet again.
Right.
So, what happened? What had happened?
What happened was Cleveland came in and kicked her butt.
I have a friend who
Popped them in the mouth.
has been giving me a hard time about the Dallas Cowboys for quite some time. And, there's like gag gifts going back and forth here. And I told him, since we played this year, put your money where your mouth is. And we made a wager where the loser had to wear a dress to the next event that we were doing. So, as much as I would have loved to seen Ben Anderson in this navy blue dress with the sequins bedazzled cowboy star on the front of it, that I hope I can return. Yours truly lost, and I'm a man of my word.
Oh,
so
baby.
Maybe if nothing else, it'd be good for ratings.
Pictures to come. Absolutely. I
So-
can't wait for that.
Yes, the Dallas Cowboys lost to the Cleveland Browns today, and it
What's
was an
going on?
exciting finish.
All right, what's going on in Big D, guys?
Oh, no, lack of Big D. They have no defense.
Yeah. Lyle Collins gone for the year. Vander Esch hurt again.
Yep.
2 games back. Sean Lee can't stay healthy for anything.
They've not given up this many points in 3 consecutive games since we talked about this earlier. It's 88,
Right.
which was they went 3-13, and that was Tom Landry's last year with
Wow.
the organization. So
So you'd have to imagine, without all the defensive key defensive injuries,
Yep.
this team might be undefeated when you look at the points that they can put up,
Sure.
the numbers Dak's putting up.
yeah, well, we talked about this too. It's like Cooper's talking about they don't have much of a run game and all the passing. They're playing from behind.
They have one
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
best
Today
running
was-
backs in the league, but they're 29th in rushing right now.
That's
Today
sad.
was a big example of that. Dak had 500 yards rushing today, 4 touchdowns, and he lost.
Passing.
500 yards passing,
Yep.
4 touchdowns, and a loss. There's only been 3 other players he's the 3rd player in history. But how many of those yards was in the 4th quarter when Cleveland was playing prevent to win defense? Think about that.
Yeah.
That's all they did is they threw the ball, unless they were within 3 yards of a first down. Then they had Zeke.
Even in the first half, I mean, they got to a point where, and this is something I was talking with Fish early, if you're playing 14-14 in the first quarter, that's not the time to start playing like you're behind. You've got to establish the run because that's setting up the entire rest of the game.
Yeah.
You start that.
McCarthy, you're starting to look like your old boy here a little bit, man. Like, seriously? Come on. I don't know.
Anyways, there's definitely some stuff in Texas that needs to have some adjustments.
They kept running. I mean, Cleveland's like, until you stop us, we're keeping. And Chubb got hurt.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I hope he's all right.
Yeah, he got his leg rolled. He got rolled.
And they kept running.
And listen, Cleveland came in. This was no fluke. Cleveland came in with a great chance to win this football game, with a great running game, 2 outstanding receivers, exploited the entire defense, and got the job done. So
And now Dallas is 1-3 and still tied
For
that's what I was going to say. Here's the caveat.
Right.
My goodness.
Still no need to panic.
No, there's really not. We were talking
It's
about
crazy.
that too. As long as they handled their business in the division and the teams that they're, seriously, if they can't beat Washington and Philadelphia
Right.
this year,
Then
they
you don't deserve it, right.
But they can win out their division and still end up limping into the playoffs. But they've got to put a plan together, and they actually need to go free agent.
That's what I was about to
Their
ask.
defense.
So what do we do to fix some of the things?
we
What are
got-
some of the options now?
There's a cornerback available right now.
Yeah.
We got a couple minutes left in this segment. Yeah, but
And
how do they fix this?
They need to sign somebody.
You're right.
Somebody. They got big contracts out there right now that they are not getting dividends on because of injuries. They need to do something.
And it
Those
needs,
guys were I don't know. The coaches were just sleepwalking out there. I mean, we need some energy and excitement. I almost said at the beginning of that segment. Today's game was against 2 teams. One team continues to be hyped up year after year and not living up to expectations, and the other team was the Cleveland Browns. So Dallas Cowboys, seriously,
That's sad.
Year after year, we got all hyped up again this year, and here we are. So,
Okay.
yeah, so we need some personnel change, some coaching fire, I think, and I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see what
You
happens.
hit on it though. The Sean Lee thing is huge, and I think that he is that ball. And
Sure. They are like night and day without
not
him.
having him out there hopping around.
Yeah.
It's
No defensive
a
leadership.
different team.
The
Yeah.
defensive
Not to mention, he's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
yeah.
is awesome. So, man, Dallas doesn't have to panic right now because of the division, but they got to panic because we're going to go into the next part of the season here real soon, or next week actually, and you got to do something because even if you make it to the playoffs, what's the point? You get knocked out in the first round because you have no defense whatsoever.
Well, hey,
And-
listen, we've got a couple games that actually didn't take place there that might fit right into a little bit of a COVID report we want to get
Okay.
into later. We'll come back to
How about we come back and
Let's
do that,
say,
Coop?
can we
You
do
bring us
that?
up to
Come
speed.
back-
We want to take a quick break. We'll be back in a few minutes. Can we take this out of here? Get a little on 3 here. 1,
1, 2, 3, get better!